So y'all, if you thought Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 13 couldn't get any wilder, think again, because chilly rumors are flying and fans are absolutely stunned right now. All over some behind-the-scenes tea that just got leaked apparently. Word on the street is that Yandy Smith-Harris has straight up refused to film with Mena after a betrayal so messy production couldn't even keep it under wraps. And here's where things get even crazier. Insiders are claiming that there was a whole scene shot full of tension between Yandy and Erica, but VH1 allegedly decided to cut it from the final episode. According to a now viral article making its rounds, the scene was so heated, so personal. It was pulled to avoid making things look even uglier than they already are on camera. Now the streets are talking, social media is on fire, and fans can't help but wonder what exactly went down between Yandy and Erica that made Yandy say, "Nah, I'm done." Was it something Erica said? Was it something she did off camera? That crossed the line for real this time. Stay tuned, because we're about to break it all down, from the leaked reports to how the cast is reacting right now. So the story really begins. A few weeks into filming Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 13, things were already tense between Yandy and Mena, not because of anything the cameras had caught yet, but because of some behind-the-scenes energy that everyone on set could feel. According to insiders, the tension wasn't about old beef. This was something fresh, something that had just recently gone down off camera. Production had been trying to keep things professional, telling everyone to keep their personal issues separate from the show. But apparently that wasn't going to be possible this time. Word is Yandy had just found out about something Erica did. Something so shocking that even her closest friends couldn't calm her down. And while none of it was caught on official VH1 cameras, there was definitely somebody recording when Yandy stormed out of a set location, refusing to go back in. People who were there said it all started at a private cast dinner that wasn't even meant to be filmed. The whole vibe was supposed to be relaxed, just some of the ladies getting together off set. No storylines, no producers hovering. But that's when, according to leaked reports, Erica allegedly pulled out her phone and showed some screenshots around the table. The screenshots, from what insiders are saying, were private messages between Mendeecees and another woman. Not just any woman though, a woman who, according to Erica, had been in contact with her, claiming Mendeecees had been reaching out behind Yandy's back. Nobody knows exactly how Erica got those screenshots, but the minute she showed them, everything changed. Yandy wasn't there that night, but it didn't take long before the information made its way to her. The very next day, production was scheduled to film a group scene with Yandy, Erica, and some of the other ladies. But before cameras even started rolling, Yandy showed up looking completely different than usual. No smiles, no light energy. The mood was heavy. Insiders say as soon as she stepped onto set, Yandy walked right up to Mendeecees, pulled him aside, and they had a quiet but clearly intense conversation off to the side. Nobody could hear exactly what was said, but people noticed Yandy's body language. Stiff, arms crossed, her voice low but sharp. Mendeecees kept his hands up like he was trying to explain or calm things down, but Yandy wasn't having it. After that conversation, Yandy turned around, looked straight at the producers, and said she wasn't filming. The crew was stunned. According to multiple sources, Yandy made it clear right then and there she wasn't going to be in the same scene as Erica. She didn't even want to speak her name. Word spread fast around set. Some people thought maybe it was just a bad day, that Yandy would cool off after a few hours, but she didn't. Not that day and not the next. Production reportedly tried everything. Private meetings, phone calls, even offering to shoot scenes separately to keep the season moving, but Yandy was firm. She wasn't filming if Erica was involved. At first, some folks thought Yandy was just being extra, like maybe she was playing it up for attention or trying to control her narrative on the show. But then came the article. Out of nowhere, a blog dropped a detailed post claiming to have inside information on what really happened. It said there was actually a full scene filmed, cameras rolling. Audio caught where Yandy confronted Erica directly about the screenshots. According to the article, Yandy walked into a scene, straight up called Erica out in front of everyone. And things got so heated producers had to step in between them. It wasn't just words either. Reportedly, there was a moment where Yandy got up from her seat like she was ready to physically approach Erica, but security stepped in before anything could happen. What's wild is fans never saw that scene. The article claimed VH1 cut the entire thing from the show, and not just for pacing reasons or editing choices. The article suggested it was because the situation was too real to raw. Production didn't want to risk it turning into a bigger problem both legally and personally for the cast members involved. And once that article went live, fans started putting the pieces together. All of a sudden, people remembered how Yandy had been quiet on social media around that same time. How there were days where she wasn't posting her usual behind-the-scenes clips or selfies from set. People started digging, rewatching episodes, trying to spot moments where things seemed edited awkwardly or where conversations felt incomplete. What made the story even crazier was that neither Yandy nor Erica publicly addressed the rumors right away. Both of them stayed quiet for days, which only fueled the speculation. Fans were in the comments asking both of them directly what really went down, tagging them under the article links, but there was no response. That silence made people believe the article even more because usually if something wasn't true, Yandy or Erica would have jumped online quickly to clear the air. But this time, nothing. Even Mendeecees didn't say a word. And that, according to insiders, was the most telling part. People close to this situation say Mendeecees was caught completely off guard by the whole thing. While he and Yandy had dealt with trust issues in the past, like any couple in the public eye, this situation hit different. According to folks around them, Mendeecees was frustrated because, from his point of view, there was no real proof behind what Erica had shown. He allegedly kept telling Yandy that the screenshots were fake, that Erica was trying to stir up drama for the cameras, but Yandy wasn't hearing it for her. Just the fact that Erica would go out of her way to bring that kind of mess into their marriage was enough. Insiders say Yandy felt completely blindsided not just by Erica's actions, but by the fact that production had let things get to that point without stepping in sooner. What's more, people on set started noticing the divide between cast members growing. Some folks took Yandy's side, saying she was right to stand her ground and protect her peace. Others felt like Erica was just doing what reality TV stars do, bringing the drama, keeping things interesting. But for Yandy, it wasn't about the show. According to those close to her, this was about respect, loyalty, and her family. And once she made her decision, she wasn't backing down. She told producers straight up that she wasn't playing into storylines that put her marriage in question just for ratings. Whether that was the real reason VH1 decided to cut the scene or not, nobody knows for sure. But one thing was clear. The energy on set had shifted for good. After that shift on set, things didn't calm down the way some people had expected. Production had hoped that with a little time, Yandy might cool off and agree to come back to filming like normal. But that wasn't what happened at all. In fact, sources say the divide only got wider as the days went on. Where once Yandy and Erica might have had small moments of tension that came and went, this time it felt permanent. People in the cast started picking sides quietly. Some of the girls stayed in touch with Yandy, checking in on her off-camera, while others kept filming with Erica like nothing happened, choosing not to get involved in the situation altogether. The way insiders describe it, the atmosphere around set wasn't just awkward. It was full-on split down the middle. There were days where production had to plan 2 completely separate shooting schedules. One for scenes involving Erica and another for scenes involving Yandy just to keep the season moving. This meant extra costs, extra planning, and a whole lot of stress for everyone involved. Yet, according to sources close to Yandy, she wasn't concerned about any of that. Her focus was on protecting her peace, and she wasn't going to budge just because cameras were rolling. Fans started noticing this too. People watching season 13 episodes pointed out how strange it was that Yandy and Erica, 2 major names, weren't sharing scenes anymore. Viewers were quick to take to Twitter and Instagram, leaving comments like, "Where's Yandy? Why is she missing from all the group scenes now? Or something ain't right." Yandy and Erica got real beef for what? This speculation only pushed the leaked article further into the spotlight. Once again, blogs were reposting screenshots. Gossip pages were adding their own spin on the story, and fans were sharing their theories in comment sections all over social media. What made things even more intense was the fact that nobody from the main cast had officially denied the story. Usually, when fake news spreads, people jump online fast to shut it down. But in this case, that didn't happen. Both Yandy and Erica stayed silent, as did Mendeecees. That silence made the situation feel even more real to fans, especially after a second leak came out, this time claiming that there were actual contracts involved in keeping things quiet. According to that report, producers allegedly made cast members sign non-disclosure agreements regarding what had gone down between Yandi and Erica, locking everyone into silence to avoid lawsuits or damage to the show's image. Again, no official confirmation, but the timing made sense. Insiders claimed that production wasn't just worried about the drama between Yandi and Erica. They were concerned that letting too much information leak would mess with the season's ratings. If fans knew everything that really went down, it could shift public opinion against the show's producers for letting things get out of hand. Behind the scenes, those close to Yandi say she was still upset not just with Erica, but with Mendeecees. Even though Mendes had insisted that the messages Erica showed were fake or taken out of context, Yandi wasn't ready to fully believe him yet. Insiders say Yandi felt hurt that this kind of thing had even come up again. After everything she and Mendes had been through in the past, his legal troubles, their long-distance marriage, raising their kids while he was away, Yandi expected better. She wasn't just upset about what Erica had done. She was disappointed that Mendes hadn't shut it down from the jump, that he'd allowed room for someone like Erica to even bring that kind of energy into their relationship. Sources say there were nights where Yandi wasn't staying at home. Apparently, she spent time away either at a hotel or with family, needing space to clear her head. Mendes reportedly tried reaching out multiple times, calling, texting, trying to explain himself. But Yandi wasn't picking up right away. According to those who know her, she needed time to process everything before she could decide how to move forward, both with Mendeecees and with the show. On Erica's side, insiders say she wasn't feeling guilty about what happened. From her perspective, she was just being real and doing what needed to be done. According to people close to her, Erica felt like Yandi had been fake for too long, playing perfect wife on camera while hiding her own issues. Sources claimed Erica saw this as her moment to expose some of that, to shake things up and remind everyone that not everything was as it seemed. What really added fuel to the fire was when fans noticed both Yandi and Erica unfollowing each other on Instagram. Not only that, but some of their mutual friends had stopped liking each other's posts too. It was a quiet signal, but a strong one. Followers noticed immediately. Comment sections blew up with people saying things like, "Yandi unfollowed Erica, it's real now and this ain't for TV, this real-life drama." At the same time, Mendes kept his page mostly quiet. He posted regular family content, old photos, and business promotions, but nothing addressing the situation directly. According to insiders, that was intentional. Mendes didn't want to add fuel to the story by making public statements, especially with everything so sensitive behind closed doors while all this was happening. Production continued filming as best they could. There were days when scenes were shot without either Yandi or Erica present, focusing instead on other cast members and side storylines, but the gap was noticeable. Fans watching the show kept pointing out how things felt different, slower, less connected, like something was missing. One particularly observant fan page posted side-by-side episode clips showing how previous seasons had Yandi front and center in group events, while now her presence was limited to smaller, more isolated moments. Comments under that post echoed the same thought. Everyone knew something bigger was going on behind the scenes. As for Yandi herself, insiders say she spent a lot of time focusing on her businesses and family while stepping back from the show's drama. She wasn't interested in jumping back into the mess just for the sake of appearances. Instead, those close to her say she was carefully considering her next move, not just with love and hip-hop, but with her public image overall. Even though there wasn't an official statement, it became clear to everyone watching that Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 13 was dealing with a storyline that had gone way beyond what was planned. And for the cast and crew, the challenge wasn't just about salvaging the season. It was about figuring out whether things could ever go back to normal between Yandi Mises and Erica after everything that had been exposed. Insiders close to production say that despite the headaches, producers were still hoping for a resolution. Some kind of on-camera moment where Yandi and Erica could at least speak. Even if it wasn't a full reconciliation, but whether that would actually happen or not was anyone's guess. From what people could see, Yandi was standing firm. She wasn't filming with Erica, she wasn't posting her usual behind-the-scenes content. And she definitely wasn't interested in faking peace for the cameras. The energy around Love and Hip Hop Atlanta season 13 had completely shifted where the show once thrived on big stage group moments. Now it was working around real-life silence and real-life tension that no amount of editing could fully hide. The tension behind the cameras wasn't just affecting filming schedules anymore. It had started affecting how the rest of the cast acted, both on and off-screen. Sources say that people who weren't directly involved in the situation, like some of the newer cast members, suddenly found themselves choosing sides just to avoid drama falling back on them. Insiders claimed there were smaller arguments breaking out off camera. Little things about who's sitting where during group scenes or who is invited to private cast events. One small argument between two supporting cast members reportedly started just because someone made a joke about Erica and Yandy's feud and another person didn't think it was funny. The mood had shifted to where nobody really knew who they could trust anymore. But the one thing everybody seemed to agree on was that something had happened that couldn't be ignored. Whether people sided with Yandy or Erica, everyone on set knew this wasn't some fake storyline cooked up by producers. Insiders described it as real emotion, real silence, real anger, and real distance. And what made it hit even harder for viewers was the fact that the show didn't openly address it in episodes. Scenes aired as usual, focusing on other plot lines. But fans watching at home were noticing the gaps more and more. The editing started looking choppy to those paying attention. Group events felt smaller. Even scenes that used to show Yandy giving her usual commentary in those private confessionals seemed fewer and far between at this point. More articles started coming out building off that original leak. Blogs and fan pages were reporting on Yandy's refusal to film with Erica as if it was confirmed fact. Now they pulled quotes from unnamed insiders, talked about contracts being rewritten, and even suggested that Yandy might be negotiating a new deal where she could continue filming her own separate scenes while keeping Erica completely off her schedule. One article especially mentioned that Yandy was reportedly being offered additional compensation just to return to set under those new terms. Meanwhile, the cast's social media feeds stayed just as quiet as before. Both Yandy and Erica continued posting about their businesses, their families, everything except the show. And for fans who followed both of them for years, that silence felt loud. People were filling up their comments sections with questions every single day, asking what happened, begging them to speak up. Some even accusing them of letting down the fans by not telling the full story. Behind the scenes, according to insiders, production was running into even bigger problems. Reshoots were being scheduled not just to fill in missing footage, but to completely change the direction of certain storylines. Apparently, there were multiple episodes mid-season that had to be reworked at the last minute because key scenes were now unusable thanks to Yandy's refusal to film. Insiders say this cost VH1 more than they had planned for extra hours for editors, extra camera crews for reshoots, and bigger checks for cast members willing to step up and create new story arcs to keep things moving. Despite all of that, Yandy wasn't showing any signs of backing down. People close to her kept saying the same thing, that she felt like certain lines shouldn't be crossed just for entertainment, that no matter how much money or airtime was involved, there were things that should stay private. And in her mind, Erica crossing that line with the screenshots meant there was no going back. Insiders say Yandy made it very clear to producers that she didn't want to film any kind of fake apology, scene, or sit-down moment just for the sake of wrapping up the season neatly.